Growing up, I didn't have access to computer. I didn't have access to, tech and all that. This was equally a challenging for most of the people from different backgrounds. When I shared the vision at the first sight to people that this is what I wanted to do, few people bought into the vision, and we started as young people. So that is why Alice Talk World is a community of young leaders. Networking is not always about taking contact. Before you can even think of networking, you yourself, have you identified who you are?
Every guest on the Entrepreneur Spotlight podcast has a story that can effect change, and today's guest is no exception. I'm thrilled to be introducing to you a game changer in the business world, and that is the power of networking. Our guest today happens to be a shining example of what happens when connections turn into collaboration. She is the visionary founder of an NGO that has a thriving community of young leaders across Ghana and beyond. The organization provides platform for students and emerging professionals to connect with industry leaders, explore entrepreneurship, and develop solutions, social and economic challenges. Her work continues to inspire young people to take initiatives, lead with purpose, and contribute to national development. Joining us on today's episode is the incredible Alice Yakubu, the founder of Alice Talk World. Hello, Alice.
Hi.
You look great. I like your outfit.
Too. Thank you very much. I love this too.
Thank you. And congratulations on your 5 years anniversary at the Alice Talk World.
I appreciate it.
You are doing amazing. I watched your interview on Metro TV, and I've seen across the years how resilient you've been, right from level 100 Legon when you started, and till today, 5 years. It's been remarkable.
Yeah.
You keep, I think recently you spoke about the fact that you're hoping that ATW becomes the number one vehicle to drive change, provide access to networking opportunities to young people. The vision is so beautiful. What started this vision? Can you tell us?
Right. So, I mean, once again, Alice is here.
Yeah.
It's a privilege to be on
Yeah,
your conversation to share my insights and our journey as well to the world, because the world deserves us, and they deserve to hear what we do and the impacts we are creating all together. So with Alice Talk World, we always ask ourselves as young people, right after school, what next?
Yeah.
We keep wondering that what do we do right after school? And you see most people, find it difficult to even identify their feet.
Right.
When they get to the university, and even after the university or after any tertiary education. So they find themselves, wanting. And if you are unable to, identify your feet, especially getting into the tertiary education or right after education, it is a big problem.
Yeah.
So with our organization, we identified it as a problem, and we realized that no, as young people, as innovators, when you identify a problem, you need to look for a solution. So here comes Alice Talk World, where we bring solutions to all these problems we identified. So basically, we are helping young leaders, young people to identify their feet and match to how they could probably manage their lives right after school. So you asked that how can we, what drove us?
Yeah, it's a very fantastic initiative. I'm just wondering, as a level 100 student, you could have this idea, but what really pushed you to setting up this organization?
I think my background is
your background, right? Your background.
And with my background, it resonates with so many young people backgrounds. Growing up from where I come from, I grew up from the northeast region of Ghana.
Yeah.
And from where I come from, basically with education, let me say we have we are not rich in education. We have, a lot of challenges. Would I say poverty, like in education and all that? We have a lot of challenges, obstacles when it comes to education. So most of our parents always need, this kind of like empowerment conversations for them to know the purpose as to why education is essential, is very important. And with the young ones as well, we need to know that we need to own up ourselves to say that yes, we need to say yes to education and all that. So basically from where I grew up, with the mentality that we had and with what our parents also had, the perception they had was that, because there is no money, they are not willing to say the truth to the other, our generation, our young people, our colleagues and all that, there is a lot in you. When you are yourself, there is a lot within you when you identify and find your feet. So they fail to tell us that because they are unable to support our education, just because they can't afford the tertiary institutions money. So from where I come from, either we just end up by doing a diplomatic, either those nursing people in brown uniform, like I think some 8 months or 1 year kind of diplomatic courses, and you turn out to be a diploma in nursing, teacher training colleges for just some few maximum of years, and you are a teacher. So basically, for my hometown, that was the limit of education. So most people didn't identify that there are a lot of things, like a lot of women can venture in male dominated space like engineering, tech, and all those things. And a lot of young people can do so many powerful things. You can read law to come back to your community to serve and give it back to your community. So this was one thing I identified from where I come from. So growing up, I didn't have access to computer. I didn't have access to tech and all that. So I was telling myself that the world is moving fast forward with tech, and I need to give a try. I need to go within that space. Let us do away with the mentality that young people or females cannot go to where like a male dominated space. You get it? So from where I was coming, I just wanted to do away with that, set as an example to my people in the village that if I can do it, they can equally do it. So basically, that is what it takes us back to right after school, one next, right after basic schools, right after tertiary, one next. So that was the question. That was what came in mind, and I said, no, I would go to the university and do this. So when I got to the university, I engaged with few colleagues, and I realized that no, this was equally a challenging for most of the people from different backgrounds. So I thought of it that let me share my vision with these people, that we are the good example. We are the future leaders. And when we say we can do it and go back to our communities and give back, we will surely do it. So I shared, the vision with people. And, I always say all fingers are not the same. When I shared the vision at the first sight to people that this is what I wanted to do, this is the problem I wanted to solve and all that, people would criticize you. But let me tell you that critics is never, it's never a problem. When you understand that critics is not a problem, you of all people would have to now pick up what is best from the critics. Critics comes in many ways, the positive one, the negative ones. So you would tell yourself that, upon all the advices, upon all the noises around, those noises are what your family, your peers, your lecturers, your anyone around you. It's a noise, and such noise is equally the same support system we need to be able to grow, right? So I spoke, I did a few consultations to peers, to lecturers, to few people, and some of my colleagues were like, when you go to Rome, do what Rome does. So when you come to the university, it's all about education. It's all about education. And I realized that we've all done education. We've not really, focused on after school one next, like networking. I felt like, when you build a strong bond with people, it is not only about, the advices I got from people when I was telling them about the solutions I was bringing to the problem. So they told me that, when you go to Rome, do what Rome does. Meaning when you come to the university, you need to study.
Just fit in.
And you go. I don't do they always say pass through the school or something?
I know, exactly.
But you need to also make good use of the school as well.
Exactly.
The school, any institution you find yourself, is a community of its own. It's an institution, a whole body of its own. And you can't just say that I'm passing through. It's different people from different categories, different backgrounds, different institutions, all in the one particular community. So you can't come and not make good use of it and say, okay, well, I came to read BSc IT, I came to do engineering, and basically that is it.
Just limiting yourself.
Why would you have to limit yourself? Why would you have to limit yourself? So networking comes in. That is how Alice Talk Word came about. So I told myself that, when I listen to critics, I listen to people and all that, I picked up the important things that matters, that could support me to bring solutions to this particular problem. Few people bought into the vision, and we started as young people. So that is why Alice Talk Word is a community of young leaders that is what willing to work with passion to solve community problems, which one of them was what right after school one next. So now when we came together, together today we are 5 years. We've been, impacting, because networking has helped us a lot. Me, for instance, as an individual, I made up my mind that, I'm not going to pass through the school. I'm not going to work on only academics. I am going to network with people. If I go through the school and I'm able to, develop websites, I'm able to code, do so many things about tech and all that, do my software engineering and all that. What next? who is going to be my pluck?
Yeah.
Who is going to pluck me? Who is going to tell me that, Alex, you know what, this is an opportunity, this company needs someone to, go build a website, this person need someone to employ to manage their affairs, their socials, their this, that. How would I get the opportunities? We have so many students with first class, so many students with let's say good classes, but they are left behind. They are seated at home because either introverts, this, that, they didn't network, they didn't make good use of it, right? So they are seated at home because you didn't build network. So networking has brought Alice Stockwell this far and has brought me as an individual this far. So basically, this is the reason, and I mean the brain behind why we exist today, networking.
Right, right. So before we delve into networking, I mean, as a whole, what really brought about the name Alice Talk World? I mean, I know Alice is your name, but the
Right.
Talk World, what really, really brought about that?
So I always say that everything is all about branding, right? Me as the individual, I love to talk, not that I make noise.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
felt that, as an individual, identifying who I am, this is me. How am I finding my feet? How am I identifying myself? So going through life process and life phases of life and all that, I realized that, um, Alice is working towards a brand, and me, for instance, I brought up, wasn't I identified the problem, and other young people believed in it. Yet I need to affiliate with whatever I am building, right? So basically, we just didn't. I personally didn't look at the problem I'm solving to be just within only Ghana, within only Accra and all that. But we are looking at how best we could extend it globally,
Yeah.
right? So that was how it came about. I realized that, for instance, as a human being, when you have a voice, we all have beautiful voices here. We should be solving problems. We shouldn't be voiceless, right? So owing to the fact that we are not voiceless, that led to the name Alice Talk World. We just do not talk for talking sake, but we talk to advocate. We talk to bring solutions to problems in our communities. So basically, that is how the name came about.
Wow, wow. I like the fact that you were able to leverage on your story and your brand as an individual to bring that name. It's very, very beautiful.
Thank you.
And I think throughout your journey, you've been talking about networking. Somebody's wondering, is it just taking somebody's contact?
No.
Is it just, hey, I know that person there, that person knows me? What is networking and how has it helped your journey so far?
Wow, amazing. So what I would only say about networking is every young person would say when you see a lot of young people, I love attending conferences, that of
Yeah,
course.
of course.
I love putting up conferences, I love, organizing seminars and the rest. So people always, I've encountered so many of my colleagues. I've encountered even those who are, well to do than us, those who are grown within the industry, and yet people are still, wondering, or they are having challenges with networking. We fail to understand that, when it comes to networking, it's not always about taking contact, right? Networking is not always about taking contact. Before you can even think of networking, you yourself, have you identified who you are? Have you identified your niche? Have you identified your purpose, your interest, what you love to do? When you are able to identify all these things, then you would be able to set a tone that I need to network and now build people around me. Networking is all about community building. Networking is all about community building. I take your number, connect with you, get to know what you do and all that. Why do I have to, keep on doing the same thing or keep on, meeting people and all that? That is because I am willing to build network, to build a community around myself. And when I always tell everyone, you can explore as a young person or whoever you are growing up in this industry or within this space. You can explore by, networking with everyone. But I would say that to me personally, with my experience on networking, when we talk of networking, you are building, when you finally identify who you are building within yourself to grow so well. But when you turn out to, just be taking contacts of people, connecting with everyone, I doubt that is the purpose of networking. You are just, and see, when we talk of networking, let's put it that when you are able to get someone's contact, what is the next point of? I meet Sika at done by us conference, and I take your contact. Why am I taking your contact? What is my reason for taking your contact? Right. So when there is a gathering, when there is a, let's say, a seminar, a conference, a wedding, names, whatever gathering it is that you find yourself, ask yourself, why do I have to find myself here? What is your purpose in life? right? So I know my niche is all about what? Youth empowerment. My niche is also public speaking. I love to, empower women. I love to empower youth, develop youth, and all that. That is my area of interest. So when there is a conversation centered around, and I see that, oh, done by us is organizing something which is, more of, youth development or empowering women, and I
Yeah.
see Sika around that space, and I know Sika is doing so well, I would come around to connect with you. So I should put up my mind that going here, I need to go and listen and learn from Sika from this particular conference. And I need to find a proper way to get Sika, draw Sika closer to my own network and to my own community as well. Right? So if I have nothing doing, let's be honest, how am I going to build with Sika? If I meet Sika and I'm taking your number, what am I going to tell you? You personally would even lose interest in building with me.
Yeah.
So basically, I need to have a value on the table. What am I bringing to the table? What at all? If I'm meeting Magdan at a program, Magdan is a business minded. He's very innovative. He is an entrepreneur. So what at all am I going to make Magdan to do? How am I going to attract Magdan to say, yo, I'm giving my car to this person. I'm even interested to stand. There are so many people around, but I am interested in this particular person. After the person approach, I'm interested to have a conversation with. So basically, that is all about networking. Networking is all about building, a community around you, a community with passion, with purpose, to see how best you can sustain it. Because when you network, it's not all about taking contact and that ends it. It's not all about after taking the contact, reaching out to Sika, hello, hi, and that ends it. Hello, hi, what do we do? What common goals do we find ourselves doing? So basically, that is it. How sustainable is this network going to be? So for instance, I network with Edward Asari. Edward Asare is someone who loves to talk, who loves to build people,
Yeah.
who loves, when we talk of public speaking, it is a field of Edward Asare. And this is also my niche. This is my field of interest. So a network with Edward Asare, how can I make it sustainable? Edward Asare knows that Alice Yakubu organizes conferences. She does, mentorship programs and all that. And Edward equally need platforms, no matter how big they are. How can they keep being visible? It is all about getting platforms to, excel or keep selling themselves.
So then you bring the platform.
So I bring the platform to you. Or if I don't even have the platform, you work with Done by Us. You recommend, oh, Edward Asare is the best person to be on this platform. I can have access to Edward. I can bring Edward. So when you go to Edward to speak to Edward, Edward knows very well that this is what you are bringing to the table. So when I'm networking with such person, I'm equally giving what? My services out. I'm equally building. We have something in common to share. So on any day, if there is an opportunity, Edward will put you on. So for instance, wherever Edward is, I hope he watches this, episode of ours. Edward connected me to, because Edward knows I organize events and all that. This year, for instance, he gave me a big cake. There is a woman in US. She's a Ghanaian, all right, but she's a US based. She was coming to Ghana and she wanted to organize good 3 programs, launching her book in Ghana, a mental health program, and girls mentorship in basic schools in Kumasi. Right? I don't stay in Kumasi, but it is something I love the word. It is a passion. This is what I do. And when he reached out to Edward, who was the first person that came in mind? Alice Yakubu.
Yeah.
And I got a contract and I cashed out.
Of course.
I did. I cashed out because of networking.
Yeah.
I got a gig because of networking. So Edward Asare has been a great tool to me. That was because I had a value on the table and that value was very substantial. And I networked with him with purpose. So try to build something. As a human being, we all have internal skills. We all have something within us. We all have purposes. So if you are able to identify that, this is me, be you, and that is it. Go with your clarity and go with a purpose and build with purpose. Be intentional about what you are doing, and you will surely, make good use of networking.
Oh, this is so insightful. This is so insightful. I think in line with everything you said so far, it really boils down to the point of you knowing who you are.
Exactly.
Because once you know who you are, you know what you're about and what really drives you as an individual.
Exactly.
And then you'll be able to build a community around that area of interest you have. Because I believe a lot of people have a wrong mindset on networking because they don't know what they really want. Like you're saying, it's more like, I know that person knows me, and then it ends there. Exactly. Yeah. Because sometimes, like you spoke about the sustainable networking, you don't
how long are we taking it?
Exactly. Yeah. You now take a person's contact, it's like an end state. There's no the value you spoke about. And lots of young people are not ready to bring value. They are looking for what they can take, what this person can give me. And once they're not getting it, it looks like There are big people who don't want
Exactly.
to help us, but
Exactly.
it's not like that based on what you're
Exactly.
saying. Because I believe you've been able to get to this point because of the value you brought to the table, and what you've shown people that you are capable of doing, and they've been able to partner with you. And I think you
Exactly.
are doing amazing. Now,
Exactly.
talking about this whole partnership thing, right? You know, a lot of young people believe that on your way to the top, it's very difficult to partner with certain people,
Mm-hmm.
maybe because of it can be in the same area of interest, but I mean, people wonder how you do it. You know, somebody was asking me recently, your 5 year anniversary conference, and
Okay.
how beautiful it was. And then the person was like, "Hey, Alice is so fortunate too. I mean, look at how she's able to gather these big people all on the same platform in just one day, and they're able to deliver." And I was just telling her that it's consistency. Alice didn't start yesterday.
Exactly.
She started 5 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
building, proving that she's worth your time, she's worth your attention. So when people see that, oh, this is the platform I'm being invited to, they're able to honor your invitation.
Yeah.
So then I believe that along the line, consistency also matters, because
Yeah.
people just think I'm partnering with you and then automatically we should just align then. I believe it takes time. And some people are not ready to build, over time.
Mm-hmm.
So could you just speak to someone today? I mean, talking about this resilience, because I believe you are very resilient, Alice. You are very resilient, honestly. I mean, the fact that you had this vision in mind and you were ready to push through. Because I believe, talking about pushing through, I believe you faced some challenges on the way. five
Yeah.
years, it's been
Mm-hmm.
5 years.
Mm-hmm.
As a student, getting people together, organizing conferences. Tell us one or two challenges you faced so far.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would always say that whenever when I get platforms like this to share my insights or share my challenges, for instance, I always love to speak out of
Yeah.
experiences,
Yeah.
not what others are also experiencing. What it could resonate, it could I speak based on most young people are out there trying to put one or two things, but
Mm.
then they find it difficult that when we face such challenges, we need to give up and all that. I had so many challenges regarding even networking, since networking is our main conversation and all
Exactly.
that. When I was building, I realized that when I started Alice Talk World, I had a couple of people that I invite for my program for them to come and speak, to mentor people and all that. Right after, I do not check up on them.
Mm.
I do not check up on them right after the program. So basically, as let's networking is human. It's more like
Mm.
humanity. You don't just well, you have a value on the table. People admire you for what you do and all that. But when you are dealing with people, remember they are human beings. So
Exactly.
try to treat them right. If not, they would have a different perception about you.
About you.
And that perception can be right.
Mm.
Basically, it's let me even say it's right. So me, for instance, the mistakes are personally made, but let me talk about mistakes I personally made before the challenges I
Yeah.
encountered.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the mistakes I personally made was one, I failed to initially. Now I'm trying, I'm working on so many. I mean, no one is perfect. We
Exactly. We are
all,
learning. We are
learn. It's a
learning.
learning curve, it's a learning
Exactly.
process and all that. I reached out to people to come on board to speak, to mentor, and all that. And you see that Kobiche, Dems, and all, they come to Cape Coast to mentor people on my
Mm.
programs and all. I don't pay a dime of like, take this for full, do that, that. They are doing because it's about impact. They feel like this is a young girl trying to impact, bringing, impacts or creating impacts in the community. And we all need to bring our hands together to support such a project. So people volunteer, people really have passion in impact. People
Yeah.
really love the works we are doing and all that. Of course, it's
Exactly.
not really easy
Mm.
for people, especially young change makers like us, to take that bold initiative to say yes, we want to do this and all that, right? So basically, I had speakers that came on board, and at the end of it all, it's like I reach out when I need them,
Yeah. So they
and
felt
they
used.
felt like let's
Yeah.
use
In
that word, like
quotes.
in
In
quote, like
quotes.
you are
Yeah.
using them, and it makes sense if they
Yeah.
are thinking that way, because
Exactly.
right after program you don't reach out to me to even check out that how am I doing.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just a Ghanaian norm that, or let's say it's a human norm that when you reach out to someone, it's just nice. People do win in life,
It makes them feel
congratulate
that
them.
you
Yeah,
care
you
beyond
care
what we
beyond
do.
what we
Yeah.
do and all that. And sometimes see people are just there that they live in a world that outside there you might think they are happy, but within them, yeah, they are out there impacting, they are out there giving their best to the community and all that. But within, trust me, they have a lot going on.
A
So they
lot
just
is
need
going
people to
on.
just say hello, hi, how are you doing? So you can't be within someone's network, someone's community you've built, thinking that, oh, I've already built the network. You're not thinking of
It ends
sustainability,
there.
it ends there. So you don't reach out to say, oh, hello, how are you doing and all
Mm.
that. The person wins a grant, and you don't even congratulate. The
Yeah.
person does that, you're just watching from afar. It's like you're a static viewer. Even that's even when you have the opportunity to be watching the person's, engagement and all that. You're just looking out for the person's engagement. You're not, passing comments. You're not passing. The person has posted an outfit or something. Oh, this looks nice. Compliment. Say things that would make feel, belonging, like they're part of this, that they're part of the world and all that. So these were the challenges. I went silence on so many people, connects I had built, so many networks I had built, and it didn't really help me. I went back again to some of them, and some of them, they were being honest with you. They'll tell you, yo, this is not the best thing to do. I'm not interested. I can't come on board again. I can't support you anymore. Right? And there are so many people out there that you need to pay them before you can get their services. And you are fortunate to get these people to give you free services, and you are not even like, you're not appreciating it.
Yeah.
Right? So most people spoke to me, and I was like, I need to work on it, because we are not perfect. Even though you're trying to do this, but probably maybe you're getting too busy with life, you're getting to that's not what, but try to manage your network so that you can make it sustainable. So these were some of the challenges I faced. And also with the line of works and all that, funding is always a challenge.
I think you spoke about that before.
Yes,
yeah, on one of your interviews.
Yes, funding is always a challenge. Funding and visibility. I'll touch on only this too.
Okay.
Funding and visibility is always a challenge. Every young person out there doing amazingly well, you all know that when you have, I always say that whatever we do, let's share our stories out there. Let's put whatever we do out there and all that. Because see, if you want to give a recommendation, I'm pretty sure that whatever recommendation you are giving about Alice Yakubu, people would have to go Google, get to know a bit of me before they can give me an opportunity you are recommending me on. So in everything we do, we need to make good use of our socials. We need to put our stories out there. We need to, speak about what we do and all that, regardless of it being small. When I started from level 100, it was about social media, right? I didn't have visibility. That's the honest truth. It was challenging. Sometimes it's so frustrating that you sit there and you look like, but what am I doing? Look, I'm doing so well, but it's not seen. People are not seeing my works. People are not, it's like people are not even saying well done. It's like, oh, Bob Brian, I know, trying, right? But people are not saying, oh yeah, dear, like you are trying.
Sometimes that's all you need to move.
You just need a motivation, that little thing that will keep you going, a little push. You get it. So these are the challenges that can equally make young people like myself to give up along the journey. You get it. So these are most of the. I know I'm not the only one facing. So many people are facing visibility. Visibility. If you know Dr. Khadija on any day, she's doing so well. She's also
Akaya Foundation.
Akaya Foundation. Khadija came to Ghana, and I was one of the first people to join Khadija's organization to support as a volunteer to support her grow her organization and all that. So when I was working with Akaya came before me. I was already in existence doing my projects and all that before Akaya. But she came as a young doctor too as well, and her visibility are massive. And when you look at when you do comparison as young people, learn how to compare in a positive way. What is Akaya doing that is making Akaya work so visible? My challenges with my organization, my businesses and all that was all about visibility. So how come an Akaya just came all of this instead of having a kind of visibility that I feel like I need that visibility too as well. You get it? So when you compare, don't be envious about anyone's project. Just learn from them. You are all within the same space. You all want to impact. Reach out. Don't feel big. Don't feel but just reach out to make more consultation, learn and all that. So visibility, Akaya is doing so well, and we are all doing well within this space and supporting ourselves and all that. So shout out to Khadija wherever she is and all that. She's doing amazingly well with Akaya Foundation. So basically, this was the challenges we faced. And funding, for instance, I always tell every young person that if you don't have 10 pesos in your account, if you don't have anything in your account, you still don't sit. Be clear and have a purpose. Don't sit and say, I'm waiting till when I am ready before I would start. When I started Alice Talk World, it wasn't registered. Personally, I didn't even know that you need to register a business and organization before you can run. Trust me, I didn't know all these things. So if I had sat down thinking that I want to be well prepared, I want to be ready, I want to learn this whole process and all that. See, make mistakes along the journey.
Yeah.
People start let's get back to academics like this. I can pick a course I want to read BSc IT, do good 4 years. At the end of it, I see myself to be having interest in politics, having interest in divorce cases and all that, like legal issues. Basically, what is it taking me to? It's taking me back to read law. So I can dedicate that to go back again to read law just because this is what I love to do. this is the time I think I have identified myself. So every young person out there should always, take a step. You can explore. It's not a crime when you are networking, building your communities and all that. Explore around. Keep doing so many things if you can do. If you are able to identify it at an early age, I honestly didn't identify mine at an early age. I did so
Mm.
many things. I did climate. I worked with I networked during networking and all that. So many people, gave me opportunities because of networking. They saw that I just love to volunteer. So when I'm there, I'm getting a lot of opportunities from my
Yeah.
networks that there is a beach up a cleanup exercise. The climate organization is doing that and all that. I was volunteering, and out of my hard work and all that, visibility too and all that, I got opportunities to work with Gaio. Gaio is one of the fast growing organization, a climate organization in Ghana. I work with Plastic Punch. I work with Macintalk Africa. I did
Mm.
well with climate and all that, but later on I realized it's not my interest.
Mm.
I don't think when you talk of climate that much, you would get to know more about Alice, dealing with climate issues and all that. But just that when there is a need for me to come on board to do something relatable about climate, we need to also help solve that problems,
Yeah.
right? So basically, every young person out there, just start now. Start
Start.
now. Start. Don't sit and wait. You would make mistakes along the way. You would learn along the journey, and you will pick up from there. Even if you tell me, if you ask me right now as I'm sitting there, am I perfect? I'll tell you that I'm never perfect. The fact that you see it, looking all flashy out there,
Mm.
behind us, there are a lot that we are still learning. Even with at five, we said people, gave a lot of, recommendations. People commented, people applaud us and all that, that everything was looking perfect. But behind us, there are so many things. There are so many things that some of our networks even brought more feedbacks that these are the way you should put your structure in this to be able to get it. And you learn, you listen to your critics, you get all comments and order and put things in place. So we keep learning every blessed day. So
Mm.
basically, funding and visibility was my challenge, and it's also people or so many startups, so many businesses out there challenges. If you don't have visibility, just keep building. Always find a way out, and one day, you will make it out there.
Mm. Absolutely. What
Yeah.
would you say the role of your team? I mean, looking at how you started, right? You said you started with a few people, and now, of course, you have a
A
team, a
community, a large
community.
one.
Yeah, I see amazing work they're doing out there, and I believe they've been a very great asset to you.
Yeah.
How do you handle your team, and what has been a challenge, with that in particular? How have you navigated that, area?
Right. So when we talk of teamwork, I love teamwork a lot.
Mm.
And I always encourage my colleagues, every young person, that teamwork really matters. They always say, is it two heads are not better than one? Or like correct me,
Yeah,
I stand to be corrected.
yeah.
Right. You
Two
see,
heads are better than
better
one.
than
Yeah.
one. I'm very innovative.
Mm.
That's one thing about me. And I bring a lot of ideas to the table. And Sika, when I share an idea with you, you will surely have something important to share with me. So
Exactly.
imagine like, oh, I have an idea, I share with you, you bring your ideas together, we can achieve a beautiful goal. So I believe that teamwork is very essential, is very, very important. My team has really been doing amazingly well. They are not also perfect. Most of them are learning on the game, and they've
Mm.
given themselves out to equally work with us and all that because of passion and because they believe in the vision, and they believe it is necessary for all of us to go back and give it back to our communities or
Mm.
keep on impacting and all that. So the challenges I encountered is that I always talk about funding. If you are not funding and sustainability as well, if you are not able to really, let's put aside that without funding you wouldn't be able to do things. With funding, things become flexible. You are
Mm.
also able to run your things so well. If I have a team of people that are supposed to meet up here and meet up at a particular venue to support with a project, some people might be going through struggles like transportations, what to do next and all that.
Mm.
So if you're not able to sort out those things and you feel like it's voluntary work, so anytime they meet up they need to sort out. Someone might even be going through like the person is not come the Nepal, like the
Mm.
person is not able to feed and all, and you just come sit for so many hours of
And
meeting
there's
and you're not
nothing to
there's
show.
nothing to
Yeah.
motivate them. So you need a motivation to keep a team, right? So
Mm.
these are some of the challenges we encountered. If you need a motivation like transport, some kind of tokens to be given and all that, and you don't have, it takes just now our generation, would I say we are doing well, but there is a bit of conflict. Now we tend to also not understand the whole thing of volunteering and all that. Too many expectations from we the young people when we are doing things and all that. And sometimes when we are doing things and things are a bit, looking like flashy and all, people think like, oh, there is a lot of money being pumped in and there is a lot of income coming in.
Yeah.
You get it. People fail to understand that people really support owing to your collaborations, your partnerships, how supportive people are coming and all that. So they feel like, young people always think, oh, things are going on well. So they have expectations. So if they're not able to meet the expectations, some turn out to go. I've worked with several people. Some actually left. And probably it was some of us, our mistakes, which we learned on them and worked on them. Others were just, the finances I spoke about, the funding and all that. So possibly all in all we do, we make sure that in everything we do, budget wise and all that, we make sure we also allocate some things that would be able to sort out the team members that can make it sustainable so that they don't feel being left out owing to their struggles while working with you and all that. So basically that is it. And I think that one thing that keeps our team also going is that I don't joke with recommendations. I don't joke with contracts. Sika, you can moderate, you can speak, you're an MC and all that. I don't think I will see a UN program, a big program, and immediately they start their organization process. I go in with a letter, or I go in with a conversation to their inbox or my network. I make good use of my network. Tell them that we can handle your graphic designs. I have a good graphic designer who can, I have a videographic team and media team that can handle your design with a discount amount of this, or, just we talk people. It's all about conversations. You get it. So I get them opportunities. My graphic designer like this. I have so many graphic designers in our organization. Some people who are learning on the game, those who are well to do, those who are like they are now pros, but they can't leave us owing to the fact that with what the organization has helped and how we the team like actually help them. So my graphic designer currently working with GH1, working with media houses, working with. She started with us, right? We gave him the motivation to support and all that. We gave him the recommendations and all. Henry, wherever he is, shout out to him. He's doing amazingly well. And as such team member, I don't think like it is a whole motivation without money, without anything to him. He feels motivated to serve the organization, to serve you as an individual to as well. So let's always look at beyond, volunteerism to as well and give them the opportunity so that they can feel part of the community we are building. They can feel part of the network we are building as well. So that is it.
Amazing, amazing. For someone who is, say, starting out their NGO, already running an NGO, they are looking at sponsorships and partnerships. And I believe you are able to handle that so well.
Yeah.
How did you, navigate that path?
You see, when I started the organization, right, I realized that I reached out to people, especially female leaders in University of Ghana. They were managers of Absa banks and other. They were interested in what we were doing. They saw the value on the table and they were interested to invest in to support us. But my first program I did, I never got sponsorship from any. They couldn't come on board. Star Life Assurance wanted to come on board. They didn't come on board. Why? Because it wasn't registered. So I always say that we have so many people having businesses, startups, and all that. But make sure that you have the necessary materials. You could start something today, and someone will identify you. We have so many, foreign donors that really support, startups. So imagine you're a startup and you do not follow the necessary details, like the necessary things to do, document your startup, your business, your NGO, your organizations and all that. When you get opportunity, it will pass through you. Let's be honest to ourselves. So that is one of the biggest challenge that young people or startups or everyone in the industry fail to understand that you need to have registered documents to back up whatever initiative, whatever project you are doing there. And with the funding aspect like this, we are having a conversation of networking. Networking is a powerful tool, right? And I also told you that networking comes with passion, it comes with value, it comes with what? Pure intentions. If you are not able to build this within, then I doubt that you'll be able to honestly raise funds for whatever you are doing. Your network would support you. People around you would support you. Today, if you want, I don't know how you have built your network with only your contact details, people. But if you have an emergency, right, and you can wake up to say, oh, I'm reaching out to 5 people to seek for their support on this, either on scholarship, on this, that, and they are not able to come through for you, then you have not built a sustainable network. That doesn't mean that when you wake up, you are going to ask for financial support. No, that is not it. You need to find a way to network. We are not saying that when you are networking, what you will be number
No, that's even a very wrong thing to do.
Wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
It is even a turn up for every individual, because they will see it to be money driven.
Yeah.
Because if I mean, for instance, I won't even mind you. They will see it to be money driven and all that. That is why I always say that look for a purpose, a value. What are you doing? How can they come on board to support you? Right? They don't necessarily have to give you money. So people come, your network comes in many ways to support you and all that. A friend of mine, when we were doing the program at British Council, a friend of mine, I was looking for a venue. He was like, it's an anniversary. How many people are you looking at? I'm like, oh, 100 to 200 should be fine for me, because it's just an anniversary. And we don't really need much people like that as compared to other events and all. He was like, oh, British Council would be of best for you to organize. So that was just my network conversation. And he was like, I have someone that I could speak to the person. Only to that, at the end of it all, we collaborated with British Council. But when we got to British Council, regardless of the person knowing those people around, they asked that does our organization focused on education? That was the first thing they asked. So meaning, before people can support your network, can support you, they need to connect with your purpose.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If they are unable to connect with your purpose and they are not someone that they're not your family members, how would I voluntarily just remove money from my pocket? Or how would I voluntarily just give you a venue, give you like a shop, give you like anything?
There must be alignment.
There must be an alignment. And that is what you need to build, because when you identify yourself, build it. Right? So with partnerships, sponsorships, and all that, when you are able to build all these things, you would make good use of them in a nice way. Also, you need to understand that sometimes, I always tell every young people that go for whatever you want, right? And identify the thing that you are doing, the interest of it. If I am an LSAC president of a school, or if I am an entrepreneur and I want to do entrepreneurship events, I shouldn't be looking at collaborating with entities that are not interested in entrepreneurship. So I shouldn't go out and look for a company that probably I'm trying to look for a company that isn't focusing on entrepreneurship. Then reach out to say they should support you, or they should come on board and collaborate. What are they gaining?
Yeah.
What are you giving to them? Right? So basically, I reached out to MTN. I didn't have a connect.
And I got a bottle from that. I remember.
When I reached out to MTN, I didn't have a connect. But before I got to MTN office, I asked myself, what I'm doing, how can MTN come on board to support? How can they sponsor my initiative? And also, before I reached out, I asked of, what month are we? Study, if you're running a business, anything you're running, initiative, conferences, seminars, and all this, and you are someone that you feel like, you need to go out and seek for sponsorships, you can't rely on your own self, on your own resources to be able to achieve your goal, then you need to study what? You need to find a structure, and you need to study however everyone manages their business, right? If I'm reaching out to MTN or any other product company like Unilever came on board, they gave us products and all that. They have a period that they give their products out. So right now, every company is wrapping up. Let's be honest to ourselves that they are wrapping up to end of year and all that. So if you have a project that is about 3 months, 4 months ago, coming up 2026, you don't have to sit down reluctantly saying that I will start distributing my proposals next year. What are you waiting for? By now, your document should be documented. Your proposal should be ready for distribution. So when you are done distributing them, then you can keep doing your follow at beginning of the year to remind them that this is it. But if you don't have a structure, then you have a program. I see most young people coming to me because they feel like I have, I've gotten enough sponsorship, partnership, collaborations from people. So they feel like at that form, a year better. So they can easily, come. Most of the guests come, hi Alice, I want you to help me get sponsorship from this person, from this company. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
How? Example, like you want me to connect you to Magdan to get sponsorship. Does Magdan know what you do?
Yeah, purpose and structure.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
What are you building? Let's look at how we can build a sustainable network and make good use of them. You just don't start. I realized that when was that? I needed the ambassador of Switzerland.
Yeah.
I needed a bond with her I reached out. I went to a program. I reached out before I went to a program. She was around. I told her what and what I do and all that. I was building the foundation before, because people have things they do, they have plans and all that. And before you reached out for them, some don't have time, luxury of time to go back and look at what we do before they can say yes to us. Omo miss our time now. So the best thing we need to do is to build now. So if I know that I will need someone in the future, I don't have to sit down reluctantly saying that, oh, when there is when it's getting time, or when the time approaches for me to do work on this project, then I would have to start what, building my network. I will start reaching out to the person. That is wrong. I'm about to work on a library project coming up 2026, but I'm making it a long-term project. It could be about 2 3 years for me to end up on the library project with the organization. What next? I have a strategy. I want to engage with the MPs, ministers, and all that, even though I have, a mini bond with some of them. How can I do it? I can't reach out to any MP in any constituency to tell them that, you know what, this is a project, because we are impacting, because we are doing, they should come on board to support us. I can't do that. But how can I build a bond with them? I also thought of an initiative of having a youth like conversation, one-on-one interview with them, to build a bond with them before from the scratch. So if you see me next year in an MP's office and all that, I'm not going there to seek for sponsorship, even though that could be my motive. It is my motive. Let me put it that way.
But then the way to go about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you need to have a structure in life.
Right.
The way to go about things. Let people in this world, I will say that we all use ourselves. Let us understand that you use me to gain whatever you want, and I use you. Do you get it? So if you are using me, just that you don't put it in that context that I'm using you and you are using me. Do you get what I'm putting here?
Absolutely.
So basically, learn how to put your structure well. If I go to an MP, hopefully next year, to say I'm interviewing, I'm engaging them, I'm building a bond with them, and a sustainable one for that matter. And right after that, in that interview engagement, I wouldn't just start and say, I need your support on this, that. I would build a sustainable one. Make sure, so the next time I'm building or I'm bringing a project, or they even see publicly that you are seeking for funds, or you are looking for, people to donate desktops, to donate books and all that, they would voluntarily support you because they have seen your works.
Yeah.
So if you're not able to put out these things, it's difficult. It's difficult. So put a value, make sure that you learn how to also communicate. No one can sell your story. Some people, they get the opportunity. Sika, I give you an opportunity to meet a dignitary, speak to this person. This is your last chance to, however you can do. But then, Sika, you get the opportunity on the table. You can't sell your own idea. Then who puts up the whole idea? Who gave you the dream? Who gave you the initiative? So I get an opportunity with the ambassador to sell the Women's Connect project to ambassador, and I am unable to tell ambassador about what we are doing, the Switzerland ambassador. Do you think she would have been able to say, oh yes, I love what you are doing, and I want to come on board to impact the lives of the people? No. So when we get opportunity, we shouldn't mess them. If you're not ready, then why are you then seeking for support? You need to have pure intentions. Be ready on any day. Learn along the line. You will make mistakes and all that, and you pick it from there. So these are some of the challenges with funding and all that you need to put in place to be able to catch up and get right. Would I say sponsorships and all that? Because see, people would not give you. People wouldn't just remove money from their pocket and give it to you. They wouldn't do it. Even our own family members at home. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
They wouldn't give you before your dad pays your fees or anything. They really want to. They are equally investing in us.
Yes.
That's why I said they are, and they are using us because they're using us because they know in future we are giving it back to them.
Yeah.
So basically, it's an investment. We are all an investment. So if you're unable to say, oh, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm putting in all that, and you just wake up one day to say, I'm going to seek for sponsorship. How? You need to have a value on the table. If you reach out to a bank like this, a bank will say, what am I getting from you? That is the honest truth. No matter connection you have, even if your mother is the bank manager, she needs to go through the right process to tell them why they are investing in this particular project. To tell them why they need to, partake in this particular program or project initiative and all that. You need to also that manager has to equally sell to the rest of the team or the board people that this is what we need to do and this is what we are getting. So in life, you get something from someone and they get something from you. So basically, that is it. It's a game, a win-win game. Unless you want to do a lose-lose game, it's a win-win game. So when you understand your purpose, your value, you'll be able to get whatever you want on earth. Trust me, you'll be able to get whatever you want. I got to MTN. MTN asked me that they have an initiative, the Yankasa initiative or something of that sort. Like they really talk to people to understand the kind of policies they have and all that. And they ask, can they get the opportunity to talk?
Of
I could have
course.
sold that opportunity to them. But I
Mm.
don't know, it is a collaboration. What do you have for us? Is it money? Is it product? Let's have it. If it can, support our audience,
Since
we
you
don't
have the
mind giving you the
platform,
platform
right?
to, come sell your ideas
Right.
to our audience. And a bank would equally say, what am I getting? Then I'll tell you that this is the value I am bringing to the table. And the value I am bringing to the table is that when you reach out or when you partner with us or you collaborate or sponsor our event, we are youth-led focus. So what you are going to achieve from us is that you are going to register 30 or 100 or 200 or 500 people within an hour. And that is an interesting thing for them.
Yeah.
Immediately they hear that, they're equally going to cash out from that.
Of course.
So that no one at that bank will say no to that project. So ask yourself, before I enter or before I go to this office or I go to this ministry or I go to this entity, NGO, to this donor, what am I giving back to them? We have so many foreign donors that support people, startups and all that. But why is it that after a startup, they tell you to bring all your reports, all your backings and all that? Because they want to see if you really implement it, if you really achieve the goal you had wanted to, that they are from far, they can't come to Ghana to achieve that goal. So in life, it is all about what? Give and take. So get a clear, like a real purpose, passion, a value on the table, and you are good to go.
It's all a win-win,
It's
like
all
you
a
said.
win-win.
Absolutely. We want to wrap up, but we quickly want to appreciate our partners, KGL Foundation. Thank you so much for being very amazing with us. We also want to thank Tomic Hotel. Thank you so much for this beautiful lounge. If you're looking forward to host your event, Tomic Hotel is your best bet. They are going to give you the best services, very premium services like these. Alice, you are a powerhouse. I've really enjoyed this conversation. Now, I'm looking at you. You mentioned that what your company or your organization does is to connect young people to industry leaders, right?
Yeah.
And you spoke about after school. You kept mentioning that. Are you guys able to quantify the impact? Say that, okay, we've been able to, because I believe most of your conferences are on, training people. Your values are change, impact, and empowerment, right?
Yeah.
So these are what your guidelines, basically what you work around. Are you able to say, okay, fine, we were able to train 300, 400, 500 people, and at the end of the day, maybe in 2 years' time, these people have maybe jobs on their own, they've been able to start up businesses. How are you able to quantify the impact? How do you do that?
It's something our organization do not joke with,
Right.
right? So this year we're about to wrap up our yearly base, what we've achieved, what we've done, the every cap of our year, the impacts we've created and all that. And we sit as like we have an indoor conversation with the team to see how best we can also correct our problems and all that. So basically what we do is that, for instance, we train about 30 women this year. It is our first initiative, Women's Connect.
Yeah, the first cohort.
Yeah,
I was
the first
part of
cohort.
it. Yeah.
So basically what we are doing is that we are trying our best to see that the coming next cohort, how we can leave it to the first ladies we have actually trained to take it up and see if they can equally help train the upcoming next cohort. And also if they have initiatives, most of them have started building some initiative that they want to go and give it back to the community. So we would sit behind us to support them and equally see that all the training we gave them has really been, and most of them, we also took them some online, training and things. And most of them are now visible. They are doing so well on LinkedIn, their personal branding and all that. So this is how we measure our impact. We give them the opportunity to go out there freely to do whatever they have learned, and for us to see if it's really true that what we have taught you or what you came on board to learn, and it has been worth it and all that. And also what we also do is that most of our team members like this, we do team assessment. We go for, like, we have people, the example, like we need people who had to go look for grants, opportunities, partnerships, sponsorships and all that. Like I said, how are the capacity building? So how are they able to sell the project, sell how do I put it, the initiatives that we want to implement to the people? I could have said that, okay, I am more experienced, so I would always be, but what if today I'm no more? Would people keep impacting with the organization or not? So we give capacity training to these people. We go into meetings, we sit down reluctantly, and they deliver and they achieve the goals we want to do. So this is how we are able to measure our impacts
Yeah.
from, especially the people we are training and all that. And also, whenever we organize conferences and all that, we create a survey. We get to know the people that has been impacted, their challenges and all that, and we work towards it together with them, and we are good to go. So
Right.
for impact measurement, the organization do not joke with it at all. Yes, because I mean that is the way forward to see how next we can equally do more of what we are doing.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Alice, you are a force to reckon with.
Thank you.
And you are doing amazing. Don't stop
Thank
what you're
you.
doing. I'm
Right.
sure you are a portrait of possibility for someone. Somebody is looking at you and they're like, this is the woman I want to become.
Oh.
You are doing amazing.
Thank you.
Our listeners are watching you, and there's
Right.
somebody, like I mentioned, who is looking up to being someone like you. Maybe not exactly what you do, but the audacity. I believe you have so much, resilience, to carry on such a vision. It takes a lot of audacity to do what you're doing, and they want to do maybe something similar or even better, but then the step to take is a challenge. What would you say to such people?
Oh, right, Sika. To your audience, my audience,
Right.
everyone out there, I would say that start now. See, life or phases of life is crazy out there. And see, people from the top attend my conferences, they see me and they're like, see how portable you are. Even we within the industry, we started something like this, we couldn't sustain it. How are you doing it? It's questionable. How are you doing it? I'm doing because I've made up my mind to do it.
Right.
It's all about the mindset. Prophet Prakash, you can look out for him. He always teaches about mindset. It's all about the mindset. And trust me, when you say that you can do this, you will keep doing regardless of the phases of life, regardless of the struggle. So I would say every young person out there that when you have an innovative idea, just like how Alice Yakubu had back then and she implemented it, do it. Go out. It's very necessary to seek for consultation, seek for ideas, seek for advices. And trust me, I always say all fingers are not the same. So many people would criticize you. They will tell you that, hey, usu ubada ben, because the world is a competitive world. Usu ubada ben, when did you come? And you think you can do it when others did and they failed. You think you can do it. Please block your ears from noises. Block your ears from, distractions and stay focused. That is the most important thing. And that thing alone, when you are being focused and you identify your passion and you know that, yay, yes, this is me, I want to do it, you will do it. I never thought that in 5 years today, Alice Stopwood will be everywhere. I never thought that my impact, our organization impact, will be visible. I never thought of it, honestly speaking. But I kept doing, regardless of the noises around me, regardless of the challenges, the obstacles, the visibility, the funding issues, resource persons issues, how to bring resource persons within. Yet I kept on doing because it was something my inner soul told me to do. It was something I was so passionate about, impacting the lives of others, bringing other young people together in a room to impact, to network for impact, to network with stakeholders, resource persons, and all that. So basically, that is it. Keep doing what you are doing, but make sure that in all what you are doing, people are watching you. They might not applaud you today, but they will applaud you tomorrow. Because sometimes it comes like, in a crazy way. Sika, I am there and people are like, you are doing well. I get numerous of messages, emails, people posting me, sharing me everywhere. And I'm like, hey, is it truly Alice? Is it the yesterday Alice? Is it the yesterday Alice talk word? So sometimes it get crazy. I get, but it doesn't, make me so excited. I feel like there is more burden when I get these messages and all that. I feel like there is more burden, there is more challenges yet to come my way. So any young person out there, that just know that get a value one. Keep on doing what you are doing, and people are seeing, they are watching you, and one day they will clap for you. Thank you.
One day they will clap for you. And
Yeah.
that brings us to the end of our conversation on the power of networking. Thank you so much, Alice.
Thank you.
You are doing amazing. And please do not stop what you are doing.
Right.
I hope you've learned from our episode today. I want to challenge you to go beyond taking contact, to build real connections, get to know who you are, and build a community around your area of interest. Is very, very important. Absolutely very important. So go out, collaborate, ask questions, and most importantly, do not forget to invest in people. See you in our next episode. Bye.